for another Testarossa video. Yep. I know what you're thinking, but Leon Loco, you've already done a Testarossa video. That's right, I have. This is a different Testarossa video, and it's something of an explanation, actually, as to why I haven't really been posting any videos of late. That's because I've been spending the last 4 months of my life building this car for a customer. And it is a really special Testarossa, I don't mind telling you. But before I get into what's special about it, the owner, and I'm not making this up, asked me if... Fuck off, Optimum. Asked me if I wouldn't... yeah, okay. I'm also street tuning this car because reasons. Anyway. The owner of this car asked me if I wouldn't mind terribly... just taking the car out and running it up to Redline a few times to make sure everything's, you know, good before I deliver the car to him. I swear to God, I'm not making that up. So that's what we're gonna do. And then I figured I'd tell you a little bit about this car as soon... Fuck you. God damn, Optimum Christ, fuck. Alright, sorry. I've got my laptop running here so I can diagnose the EFI system, which, yes, it's on an EFI system. That's the first trick. Stock, these cars have, well, it works, but it's a fairly terrible mechanical fuel injection made by Bosch. It's called the Jetronic, for any of you who are into those kind of things. And it is really not, I mean, you know, when it's tuned properly, it works okay. But there are a lot of things having a real EFI get you that mechanical fuel injection cannot deal with. So one of the things I've been doing with this car over the last few months is to convert it to Bosch or Motec EFI. It's got a Motec M150 in it. And I'm just tuning it well, I've been tuning it for the last week or so. Right now I'm just testing it to make sure everything is happy. Before delivering it to the customer, hopefully tomorrow. And we also did a full exhaust. I built headers for this car, which is a fairly laborious and generally ridiculous process, but it does make power and it does sound awesome. So now I just got to see if my revs are okay here. Hopefully they are. They're good. Baby wants to run. Still got a little bit of a high idle I got to work on, but we'll get to that. Yeah, no issues there. Give it a few more little zings and should be good, and I can talk about this car a little bit. So yes, the big thing on this car is Motec EFI. It's running on an M150, if anyone knows or cares what that is. It's a very cool EFI computer. And so we have full sequential injection. What that means is each cylinder, when it's ready to fire, it gets one squirt of gas and one individual coil firing it off, versus like gang fire or any of the kind of more lowly ignition solutions. Like stock, the car has 2 big distributors and 2 coils. Now it has 12 coils, 1 for each cylinder. And stock, it has this crazy mechanical fuel injection system, which it works okay when it's set up just so, but it's a real bear to live with and isn't really that optimal. So With the Motec, you get a lot of cool stuff. You get like overrun control, so you know, you can turn the injectors off when you have zero throttle at a high RPM, so you save fuel when you're cruising. You can do individual cylinder trims for spark and fuel, and all kinds of cool stuff that equal more power, more control over the engine. You can put safeties into the engine, like if the oil pressure goes down or the coolant's too hot or the oil's too hot, you can put a rev limiter in, or you can, you know, set off a little warning light in the dash. All kinds of really cool shit. And that reminds me, seeing as I'm caning this thing, I should turn some countermeasures on. That's the Mr. Bond panel. Good day, Mr. Bond! To paraphrase Jay Leno a little bit, or shamelessly rip him off, depending who you ask. So yeah, lots of work went into this car. I did the fuse panel. I built my custom fuse aircraft circuit breaker panel for this car, so the whole electrical system's been redone. God damn it. I think I'm about to pass a RAV4 who can't really drive, but... see about that. Bye-bye. Jesus Christ, this thing goes. I gotta tell you, I've driven a lot of Testarossas in my life because I kind of build them for a living and stuff, but man, this baby wants to rock. And the sound, children. Oh shit, corner, big corner. Also, one really cool thing about this car is it's on Toyo R888s, which are a really sticky kind of proto competition tire, and they really make it stick like glue. Oh man, yes, give me more of that, please. Woo! I think I did it right. She likes to run. Drop her down a cog and be a... Oh, that's good. Oh, I don't care who you are. If you don't like that, I don't want to know you. I'd like to point out at this point that the owner of this car asked me to do this, and I'm also insured up the ass, so I think it's official. This is pretty much the best Testarossa I've built to date. Oh, anyway, yeah, so things I've done. Motec EFI, obviously. We did a Capristo exhaust on it, which you can definitely hear. Custom headers, full electrical system. Oh, and the interior. Let me just shut it up a bit. Into cruise mode. The whole interior, if you've seen many Testarossas, is this kind of terrible brown leather, and we recovered everything in this beautiful black spiny back leather. Did the carpets in this nice brown. It's called Castaro. It's like a castor oil kind of, or castor bean kind of color. And full audio system, and not just any audio system, a vintage audio system. This is a Nakamichi CD700. That's talking to a Butler tube amp, which is talking to vintage German-built MB Quart separates and a Memphis sub under the passenger seat. Obviously, I've done my little Mr. Bond panel here with a Valentine 1 remote display, and there's also a anti-laser priority parking sensor in there. Yeah, and everything in this car, I mean, this was a really nice car to start with. and it had a few little issues that sucked up a lot of time. I mean, initially I was trying to build this car in about 2.5 months. That didn't quite work out. You know, we had issues with the air conditioning system and with transaxle seals and a bunch of stuff that just sucked up a lot of time. But I've always said, if I can't get it done on time, at least I can get it done well. So yeah, Testarossa test drive number 2. Hope you've all enjoyed it. I promise we're going to be riding some more bikes really soon if the car thing is not your particular brand of vodka. But for those of you who like the exotics that I work on for a living, this is one of my favorites. And I hope you've enjoyed our little cruise today. Hey, you like my channel? Well, hit the subscribe button and I'll do more silly videos like this one.